if I went to China, would in that scenario can a Chinese person be racist against me?
Saint_Easy donated $200. Black people can be racist against white people, but being racist isn't beneficial in most industries and in a capitalist society as a whole. Racism isn't exactly a powerful trait. Maybe in entertainment.
It's not even that powerful there.
So if I went to China, in that scenario, could the Chinese people be racist against me?
If there have been...
Nick, can you hide that?
You can reach higher on the wall, so no.
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure because, like I said, I really only have a somewhat of an understanding about racism in America, and honestly, that's coming from a white woman.
Well, hold on. But so in China, all positions, I would assume, all positions in the government are occupied by people who are Chinese. I don't suspect there are any white people, for example, in the U.S., there's some Asian Americans in Congress. There's
any, but let's just say the vast majority. Vast majority.
What city you go to?
Wait.
So that I think it has more to do with nationality. So like, there's all Chinese people in the Chinese government because it's China. Like, does that? And like, we only have Americans.
Perhaps this is a poor argument on my end.
So do Chinese people or Asian people as a race only exist in the United States? If they exist in the United States, that's now when they're considered a race? Or are they considered a race also?
No.
Well, then if they're considered a race there too, and you're still considered a race in China too, then if the Chinese have all the institutional power and they are racially profiling or doing any number, then that would be racist, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So, if I went to China,
became a resident in China and like had a life in China.
No, because
if you went to visitor.
So let's say there. So I have to be you need to be a
through
citizen?
the turnstile. You went right through the turnstile, and the second you did,
Drift.
they were like, "Hey, round eye," or something like that, and you were like, "What?" And something overtly crazy like that, right? Would that be considered from racism towards you?
So you're saying white people can't be racist towards like illegal immigrants, for example?
No, I just think it's different.
In the U.S., I'm saying, like a Mexican illegal immigrant, you couldn't be racist towards them because they're not a citizen of.
No, you can't. I think.
But so if I go to China, I'm a white man. Mm-hmm. Could I experience racism in China from, I assume, Chinese people?
I'm going to give you an example.
Wait, let her answer.
If there's social structures in place that perpetuate that, then yes.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I was going to say.
What about you? Do you think?
I think you could, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know too much about what it is like out there, but I definitely believe that they could, yeah, if you're a minority and over there.
What about if I went to Kenya? If I went to Kenya.
Okay, so
country
I
in
think
Africa,
you would. The answer would be yes if
I
you
went to
have
Kenya.
like a work visa there, right? And you're applying to jobs, and you're not, or you're trying to work there, and you're getting continuously rejected from jobs or mistreated in jobs simply because you're white. Then yes, that would be an
Or
experience.
what if I'm just a tourist?
No, let's say
he's just visiting.
in the Middle East, like let's say when me and my friends who are white come, right? We go out to the club, and there's a bunch of Arab people there or whatever, right? And a white guy starts smoking hookah, and the Arab guys start like just chatting at him like, oh well. They're being like they're like, you're white, you
like
can't smoke hookah, you're blah blah blah, like saying that's not because he's trying to work there or blah blah blah. It's literally just because
he's there.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's what
Okay, so I think that it definitely comes with the definition that we kind of talked about, brushed up upon. The racism that I'm mostly referring to and trying to place emphasis on is systemic and is coming from a place of power or a place of power and majority. It
doesn't need to be a majority for it to be power though.
Not necessarily. I'm just saying.
Okay, so then
if one person is racist, if one person of a group is racist, that means like, what is that what you're trying to say? Like, if only one like person, that doesn't mean the whole group is racist?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay, you're trying to say, I think she's trying to like say that she's trying to like speak of systemic oh my god, racism. But we're talking about, can a group be racist towards another group? That's literally the question. Can other races be racist towards a white person? Period. Not in any sort of situation, just in general. In general, if you were to go, let's say you want to go to Tokyo, all right, and you were walking around, could they be racist towards you?
Saint_easy donated $200. Okay, Brian, we get it. Enjoy your white male privilege. Well deserved.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, Saint Reezy. Here we got another
Wait,
chat.
so
here.
was that a yes?
Last show? Did you say that white people don't have culture?
No, I.
No,
You didn't
that
say
was
that.
the other one.
That was the other. Does anyone here think white people? Do you think white people don't have culture?
What the fuck do you mean by
Hold
white?
on, no.
I mean, like, there's there's like a million different types of white people. So yeah, of course there's.
But I've often heard this. I mean, Andrew was on the show 2 days ago. I think we've heard this frequently. That
There was like 4 of them who said that.
say white people don't have
Yeah.
culture.
Wait, what? Oh, I saw that.
Do you have
Oh no.
Well, does anybody agree with that? Just show of hands.
I don't understand what do you
What's
mean
the
by
question?
white
What's
culture?
Do black people have culture?
Yes.
Do white people have culture?
Yes.
I don't know what you mean by white culture. Okay, because I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna put it very simple, right? The only reason why we have this concept of like black culture is because it came from like a very unique set of circumstances in the United States that. Yes, like for example,
It all came from a very unique set of
Let me finish my
circumstances.
sentence, Andrew, please.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so for example, like black culture in the United States, basically a lot of it originates from like slavery, breaking out the systems of oppression, then like Jim Crow, basically like a whole bunch of culture surrounding that specifically. Some people, when they say white culture, what they're referring to is like European culture, which sure, I can grant that. Yeah. But through the United States history, like the concept of white has changed a lot. So for example, there was a certain point in time where Irish people weren't considered white, where Italians weren't considered white, where Germans weren't considered white. So it seems like in the United States in particular, this concept of white culture has like just like kept on like increasing or adding on. So it's like even now you see it with Latinos, where they're saying like, oh no, like, you know, like Latinos are white, you know, as well. So it just seems like this concept of like white I'm Hispanic, by the way, but that's like a whole other side tangent.
What whites is saying?
Yeah, no.
Hispanics are saying they're white. I'm saying that right now. My family's saying that. But.
Yeah, but there are people saying that. So the whole point is like this idea of like white culture in the United States. It's like a very weird and complicated question. I think if somebody says, oh yeah, there is white culture, like look at European culture, like those people aren't really claiming themselves as white first. Like you go to the UK, they're gonna say like, no, I'm like British first,
like white
or
American?
French. Like they're gonna say like, no, I'm French, not white per se. So that's why I'm kind of confused about the question itself.
So white American, or like, is that what
It's
we're talking about?
white American. Can
typically.
you say American culture in the context of white? Can you say that there's a white American culture?
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's why I was just asking the clarifying question, because I wasn't
Because like
sure.
you can go European, you can go American, but there's still white culture in multiple facets.
Okay, I could give a hot take that I think everyone will hate me for. If you guys
Uh-oh.
Bring it,
Yeah,
girls.
let's hear it.
Okay, so I think the reason why liberals are often so hesitant to admit that there's a white culture is because it's like the dominant cultural hegemon that basically we just say these are good traits in a person, and it's actually like kind of this weird form of like white supremacy where we like dismiss anything as being white culture because they're like, no, that's just a good thing, and it's like cultures can have good things in them, but it's also fucking white. Like being like really into like certain types of like
Your
goddamn-
yoga and avocado toast with your
well,
pumpkin
even
spice
more
latte
than that,
in
like
California.
this
This
like
is a thing.
this like
Let's be real.
hyper obsession, for example, with like kind of like Protestant work ethic. This isn't to say that other cultures don't have like orientations. Like for example, like the Chinese culture has a very intense work ethic culture, but it has a completely different background in the way that it plays out. Like our obsession with work ethic in white America is just part of white culture. But when I say that, most white liberals are like, well, black people work hard too, and it's like, black people can just participate in white cultural norms. That's fine. We just don't think white culture exists because we don't want to admit that it's the cultural hegemon, meaning like the most common culture. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And it's white supremacist.
So then,
Not
yes. So
that.
then the answer would be yes. There's white
There is
culture.
white culture.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't got to give too far on that. We have Samantha Savage.